Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there's Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are taking a look at Loki. We are on Season 2, Episode 3, 1893. And no idea what to expect. Like I said, there's so many directions they could go with this show. I am just excited to get into it.
Episode 2 was great, following a great episode 1. I just don't think there'll be in a McDonald's in this one, but I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to find out.
I want to know what she thought of the cheeseburgers. We never got that. But,
so much bigger.
Of this paste burger.
Oh, yeah.
Very intense episode 2. So I'm curious to see as to whether we'll get any levity in episode 3 or if they're going to keep that serious tone.
Yeah, what Dave said there, the tone has been phenomenal in the first 2 episodes. I like the high tension, high stakes that we're getting. I really hope we are riding that wave for this one and the remaining episodes. So, let's go!
I believe in you, Obi. Oh, there's Renslayer.
Now we're getting...
1868.
Okay.
What took you so long? You told me I was going somewhere important, that I was going to meet someone important. Did you bring what I asked? Answer me. First things first, do you have it?
Got kind of an attitude, Miss Minutes.
Do you see that window there? The important person you were going to meet? The one at the end of time? He told me that we need to put this package in that window. It was his plan, meant to protect all of time.
Then why didn't he do it?
He's dead. What? Get back, someone will see you. You don't exactly blend in. Better.
Yeah, perfect.
And what do I get in return? When he's back where he belongs, atop the TVA, you and I will be right by his side.
Doing some science here.
No, I think these...
But is this a
Young,
young
is it
Kang?
a young version of him, maybe? And there's something in
Young
that
Kang?
book.
That's his, and this is...
I assume it's a book.
And this is the timeline he came from, perhaps? What is it? What do you think it is?
gonna be
The
a book.
handbook?
Yeah, it's the TVA book. That's how it all started.
Interesting. Very.
It's like it's like a butterfly effect. That one little event.
Without he who remains temporal owner, I don't know.
How much time do we have?
Oh, they're gonna go get a young Kang.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
It's a different version.
We need to scale the loom's capacity to manage all those new branches. Otherwise, it will fail. And the TVA will be destroyed. And we're all gonna die.
He just take a shot anytime he says we're all gonna die. New game.
We're all gonna die still.
No one's gonna die.
The old Chevy.
Did you open up access to the loom?
Miss Minutes, what about it?
She has administrative access to the entire TVA.
Access to the whole universe. How are we gonna find a little rogue cartoon clock that doesn't want to be found?
That's true.
You know, we're saying a young Kang, but it's Miss Minutes probably really that's gonna...
We find Renslayer, we find Miss Minutes.
It's gonna be an awkward reunion, face to face with the woman who tried to kill us both.
Let's focus on that cartoon clock.
Chicago, 1868 to the same spot, 1893. This isn't a pivot point in history. You have the Chicago fire, but that's 1871. Ravonna, what are you up to?
Oh, they're right.
They were right there by the window. What a setup. Oh, that was cool.
Hey,
This can't be the same place.
Chicago World's Fair.
World's Fair.
there we go.
Saying they went to 1868 by mistake and then went 25 years ahead because this is where they wanted to be.
No. It wouldn't describe Renslayer's accident. Plus, if she has Miss Minutes there to help her, there's definitely a purpose for them going there earlier. We just gotta figure it out. Well, you start by looking. A little good old-fashioned legwork.
Ghost clock. Continue.
Liberty Bell.
Ghost clock.
Oh, look at that.
Breadcrumb.
Exactly. Cracker Jack concession stand is a high traffic area. It was necessary and logical to go there. So the fact that it's tasty is just a bonus. You wouldn't know because you haven't tried yours.
Okay, tastes like ash.
No, it doesn't. We have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach because I see everything. I notice everything.
I haven't seen you got some Cracker Jack on your chin. How about that?
It's damn sticky.
Odin Thor.
Make you a little homesick?
Wow.
Completely inaccurate, first of all.
Look at this, he's got
You
the
don't
eye
think I look
patch.
like Odin? Is somebody feeling a little left out?
Look, this is pretty much exactly like them.
You know, sometimes I forget that you're one. You are one of them. Blows my mind.
Owen Wilson, it's just his delivery on most of his stuff.
Thor's temple.
Temporal. That can't be a coincidence.
Unless you want everyone freaking out, you stay in that bag until I tell you otherwise. This is it.
Yeah, look at that.
He does like a good drink. And so do I. There she is. In the ceiling.
Maybe see some low-key magic here.
Well, he's outside the TVA, so
Time is everything. Perhaps we can shape it.
Well, you see, the thing is, we need you for something.
He remains. Made him sound like this terrifying figure.
Don't be shocked.
Yes.
When I tell you.
Just what would you know about the future, boy?
Great question. Great question. More than you might think.
This is one of the variants that He Who Remains warned me about. It's coming.
Of the past, present, and future flows all around us. Temporal loop. Invert the temporal decay of the electricity flowing through it, lowering its entropy, and gathering it into power, which it then weaves into elegant ropes of voltage. A chaos of particles is transformed into order. Can light the whole of Chicago.
So you can light a few bulbs? Big deal.
I do not want to light a city.
His delivery is so bizarre.
I aim to light the entire planet. Laugh it off as pure science fiction, because all science is fiction until it's fact.
Whoa. That thing gonna be able to hold together?
We need to bring him back to the TVA.
Can't trust a variant of He Who Remains in the TVA.
That's a later problem. We have a very serious now problem.
Nah, he's got a point.
Yes, and his aura is the only thing that can get us access to the loom.
Oh, Doc Brown never made anything quite like that, did he?
Nope.
A moment, please. We need to talk about your future.
There she is. She's talking to our guy.
Take as many moments as you like.
That's quite a device you've got there, Timely. But I still have some doubts.
It's still a prototype.
I was thinking more along the lines of a partnership. You give me the patent rights, and I'll facilitate production.
I don't do partners.
Oh.
Forgive my bluntness, sir, but I must have your temporal loop.
Presentation has piqued much interest. I will be taking all formal bids.
Perhaps $500 would conclude the bidding. $850.
Step aside, Hornswoggler. $1,000.
Oh, what is that back then?
I suggest you take it.
I believe we have a deal.
We could probably just make
Whoa. Well, that was quick.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, clown.
You stepped on my foot.
I assure you, any physical contact was purely incidental.
What we got going on here?
Paid the guy off to start a bidding war.
Bidding war, yep.
I told you it's not my plan, it's his plan. With our help, he'll be all he's meant to become.
Oh, boy.
Reminds me of a certain character in ECW.
What do you do with them?
Just made bro disappear.
Do you mind if you walk and talk timely?
Oh, there he is.
My associate and I would love to tell you about a little business.
It's thrilling.
I beg your pardon, fellas, but Mr. Timely and I are in the middle of discussing.
Renslayer, this is only going to take a minute.
We all know each other.
Unfortunately.
I want my money back, Timely. These trousers don't work.
Councilman, you look taller to me.
He's crouching down.
Yeah.
Maybe adjust settings.
Next week.
Next week. Fine.
Trousers?
Trousers.
Ah, he's a shyster.
My ideas are just ahead of their time.
Why wouldn't they be?
I just need the cool technology of this era to catch up with my visionary mind, you know?
I never doubted it for a second.
Your inventions are fake! Timely! Excuse me. Well,
Remember, I thought he's going to keep running with it, like his hands in his pockets.
there he is! Hello! Get out of the way! No escape from this guy!
Ah, nice. So it's gonna start going up.
Oh, he's already. Yep.
Yep.
He's over there!
Not a great time.
Sorry, we got a development.
Turns out we have something even better than Miss Minutes. We have a He Who Remains variant. We can use his temporal aura.
Okay,
Do the old snatch and grab.
weird tempad reading.
About 10 feet from where you're standing?
I was gonna say Miss Minutes is right there too.
You're clearly really good at getting away. Sylvie!
Stay out of this.
Just wait for a second.
You've done enough.
You let Sylvie track you here.
Did it ever occur to you maybe she tracked you here? Just between us. What do you want to do?
We don't work together anymore, Mobius.
And look, we're not working together, Scotcha. You're a fugitive.
When you showed up out of nowhere to ruin my life, you asked me what I would do if one of his variants turned up. And I told you then, I'd kill him.
Without his help, the TVA will be destroyed.
Do you care about anything but the TVA?
Time Variance Authority.
I know! If the loom fails and the TVA is destroyed, there won't be a life to go back to. Not for you, not for anyone. And we can't fix it without him.
Don't play the teamwork card on me now.
Can I play the you tried to kill me card?
There is that.
He's the key to fixing the loom.
There is no we. Not anymore.
Just I.
Well, let's see how that works out for you.
Stopping that place from being destroyed and fixing it are two very, very different things. Do you think I'm going to get any joy out of killing that man? Where do you think he got that book? If you and the TVA hadn't messed with him, he'd have remained harmless. But instead, you weaponized him. And now you are waltzing him straight back into the TVA. The most dangerous man who ever lived.
I have never met this man in my life. I didn't give him this book. I never heard the name Victor Timely until today. The lives they protect need him. Right now, he may be our best hope to save it.
This is all very familiar, isn't it?
Yep, been here before.
Very familiar. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's gonna get out. Not how I thought he was gonna get out, but.
Hold on.
Miss Minutes, this is your moment.
It's like a Pac-Man ghost.
It's like this Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
This is on you.
The old tandem bike. Drop a comment if you've ever ridden a tandem bike before. It's not as fun as you'd think.
Make yourself comfortable.
The clock's like,
Yeah.
heated seat?
It can go down to 40 degrees.
A refrigerator chair. So, did you like my performance back there?
Ooh. Bravo. A bit creepy,
Thank you.
but our hero. Helper.
No. I am a fully conscious and sentient artificial intelligence entity, and I have a name. Miss Minutes.
Mademoiselle, it's absolutely singular.
You're pretty singular yourself. At least, you will be.
How do you mean? What is going on?
So here's the thing.
A long time ago, a version of you created an entity called the Time Variance Authority. 2 variants of the same Norse god merged into him, which resulted in the creation of new timelines, which would each see the rebirth of countless different versions of you.
I created the TVA.
If it's too much for you,
No, the story of myself that I always imagined is true.
That is why you need me by your side. I'll keep you safe.
even before the TVA or her, you created me.
Backing up on her.
I'm here because I know what a great man you can become.
I'm just looking to restore stability to the TVA. Our loom, a device not unlike your prototype you had on stage, it's in trouble.
That's not dissimilar to what the wizard gentleman said to me. And
They can't be trusted.
why not?
Loki helped murder your variant.
But he was protecting me.
He switches sides. It's a well-documented behavioral trait. Don't you want to see who it is?
Are you crazy? Don't track us.
It won't matter if we go straight to the TVA. Pack it up. Let's go.
It's at my lab across the lake. I do all my cells in Chicago. My lab is in Wisconsin.
Hey!
Lower Texas!
Hey, Trapper! Whoa!
Jeez. That delivery.
He's mine! Rat bags! Take him! He's all yours!
This music.
I know.
Okay, I'll have B-15 run a trace. This way.
They were right there the whole time, weren't they?
Yep.
God.
He's got all his hideouts.
Yeah. No.
When you're a professional swindler, you gotta have places to run and hide.
Exactly.
Is he going to Oshkosh, Wisconsin again?
Did an Oshkosh sign and Tommy Boy too.
Use your legs. Excuse me?
Is Jack showing up?
What was that? Oh, the SS Heron.
Win a ticket and a poker game.
Well, it's better than being in the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Key to understanding and manipulating time. This is where I keep everything I've ever imagined.
Looking up close up for a flux capacitor.
That looks impressive.
Perhaps you recognize it. It was delivered to me when I was a child.
Yeah, she's sitting right next to you.
I've ever found out who.
It was me.
You.
Yes.
There we go.
You brought it to him the way the postman brings the post. We both know whose plan it was.
She's a little jealous.
Yeah, no kidding.
This book has defined the course of my life. I like to think of it as a correspondence between myself and the visionary author, Ouroboros.
OB.
This is most important. It's a throughput multiplier. It could help you with your loom. I always knew my ideas were good. Oh, happy day.
It's beautiful.
You just wait until I crash in Roswell. You'll have all the technology you need.
Thank you.
Miss
You know,
Minutes gonna be
Victor, I'm
jealous.
starting to see the man you'll become.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that's what she wanted, right? She wanted to be by his side.
I have high hopes for this partnership.
He doesn't do partners.
Oh, right
Well,
there.
maybe he'll make an exception. Look at that.
No.
He does not.
And his minutes perks up right away.
Yep.
Starts kicking her feet.
Attitude change.
Yep. Oh.
You heard her, Victor. Partnership. You had to do it.
An evil clock.
Oh.
An evil little animated clock.
A sentient being.
Artificial intelligence. Well, I didn't think
luck.
the partnership word he hated that much.
Yeah, doesn't like it.
Oh.
I have a seat float.
So I'm happy to be here. Is that?
This is it. The culmination of my life's work.
I thought it'd be bigger.
Opinions vary.
You have always been so smart, Victor. Now, what's the rush?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It might be smart to lay low for a while.
Okay?
Okay. I was worried that you wouldn't come with me. That you liked Ravonna better than me. Is there a sketch of me in that journal of yours?
I'm sure there will be.
When you first created me, long before the TVA or multiversal war, I was just a simple AI. Just something to play chess with. So you gave me autonomy to write my own programming. I was allowed to have wants, and still, each night we played chess and talked.
She
A
fell in
loyal
love with him.
friend.
More than friends.
Yeah.
Why didn't you allow me a real body? If I had a body, we could truly lead together.
Whoa.
I see where this is going.
You never even tried. With all your powers and all your abilities. You just kept me as your thing. Your toy.
Oh, boy.
Instead of what I could have been. Your girl. Put that down. Don't do this. We're a team. You need me. I love you.
Oh. Just in time.
So...
Didn't see that coming.
Still a prototype. Clearly, I made a mistake.
I was entrusted with this mission by He Who Remains. I'm the one in charge.
Oh.
Vaporized.
No! No! Step away from him. What are you doing? You have lost your way.
You really are unbelievable. After all those years of doing your dirty work, making the hard decisions you never had the nerve to make.
Who are you to lecture me about losing my way?
I'm the only one who can bring stability to the TVA because that's what I've been doing, thanklessly, for eons. All that matters is order versus chaos.
Oh.
There you go, Loki.
Was that Loki?
Or Sylvie, that's right.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
Sylvie.
Please.
You'll do terrible things.
That isn't me. You don't know me. I'm not the man you think I am.
Ooh, that's getting real close.
Whoa.
Get him out of here.
She pulled back.
Yeah.
Walk through.
I really hope someone was on the other side.
Don't make me regret this. Leave her to me.
Oh, boy. This is going to be interesting.
Just go, Mobius.
I've killed you 1,000 times. In my mind, it's crippling, that kind of obsession. It's power for you, isn't it? A seat at the end of time. Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, that's where she sent her. To what's left
Where-
of it.
That's all.
They had to fight.
She sent her to the end of time.
Yeah, right where he's still there.
Oh, it's been a while.
Love you.
Darn.
I had him under control until you sabotaged me and made fools of us.
It was foolish of him to make an enemy out of someone who knows all his secrets. I know a really big one about you. It's gonna make you real angry.
Don't you cut to black. Darn you.
Just keeping us guessing.
Gosh.
Once again, they do it to us. They leave us hanging at the end of Loki.
Leave us wanting
more. What a fun episode this was. I mean, anytime you deal with time travel and you get to go to different eras and things like that, you get to kind of play around with the technology they may or may not have had. Of course, all the the costumes and whatnot they get to do is always fun. But I was wondering, what the variant version of him was going to do back then. Because I'm like, well, it wouldn't make sense he'd be able to make the full-blown device with, not having the technology. So when it turned out all of his inventions that he's been selling are actually, fraudulent and don't really work because the tech's not ready yet, I was like, now it makes sense. But that was a really great scene, I guess, or multiple scenes where they were in 1893. And, now they got him going back. Is he going to be able to fix the TVA, he who shall not be named? Or is it going to create more chaos? I don't believe for a second that our favorite evil clock and her partner in crime are done in just because they're at the end of time. I think that was a big mistake on Sylvie's part by leaving Renslayer and the clock out there. I think they can still make something happen despite being there. Who knows? Maybe they just need the body of he who shall not be spoken of or named.
Remains.
You got so many shows where that's like the thing they say about the guy. Oh, it's he who shall not be named. But yeah, so I think that was maybe a mistake, just sending those two back there. I can't wait until we get to see Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston, and the whole crew back together. And let's see if they can restore the loom, because we only got 3 episodes left. It's a short run, folks, so it's going to be pedal to the floor the whole way, and I can't wait to check it out.
Yes, that it is. This episode was pretty cool, being back in 1893. Well, first 1868, correct? Yeah, and then 1893. Like, that was really cool, just the set dressing. They're at the World's Fair in Chicago. The Ferris wheel. I've never seen a Ferris wheel quite like that, where it's how many could you get? Yeah, like carriages, you get like 20 people in there. It
seemed like it.
That was pretty amazing. If that ever existed, that'd be a lot of fun. The biggest one I was in was Seattle. You could fit, I think, 6. And you're seated. But yeah, the Navy. That was the Navy Pier, wasn't it? So that's even cooler to think about that. But also Tara Strong again as Miss Minutes was awesome, as she confessed basically her love and wanted to be a real girl for Victor Timely. And then I love the way that he was such a genius and everything, but he's still a swindler. So it shows that, even Edison was probably swindling some point, but it's like he must not be making much money with all of his ingenious inventions. I mean, he had the recliner that cooled you off and had a nice cold beverage for you. But he still had to find ways to run from people that was like the mechanical pants, just the random wires the one guy had. So this was really cool to see that. And just then obviously coming up to Wisconsin, which was awesome for us, obviously anytime our home state gets mentioned. But Tom, I was hoping he would do even more magic than he did, but it was awesome seeing him and Sylvie do so much of the Ferris wheel that they both slammed out in. And then obviously the monster clock was a fun, innovative way to get rid of people in a quick situation. But yeah, this is really good. And they obviously, of course, they have to leave you teasing and wanting you more. And so I can't wait to get into episode 4.
Las Vegas and Orlando have massive Ferris wheels with pods. Yeah. I'm not sure how many you can fit. I think the one in Vegas, you can fit up to like 15 people, something like that.
Okay.
In any regard. Last episode was really serious.
Let us know in the comments, too.
Talked about that, the serious tones of the last episode. This one definitely felt like it had more levity. I agree with these guys. It's fun to do or to see takes on previous time periods and set design, costume design, and things like that. I thought He Who Remains, not Mason Twins over here is getting mixed up with Voldemort.
Let's just call him Victor Timely for now.
Whose name we shall not mention. Oh, good old Voldy. No, but I thought it was a lot of fun. The inventions and kind of the swindling and stuff like that. But it was a very interesting concept. Here you had somebody who's super intelligent and had all these inventions and ideas, but the technology wasn't there. which just, really reminds me of Doc Brown when he was in the Old West, making an ice maker and all sorts of fun stuff that you have the foresight or the technological creativity to design them, but you just can't quite get it right yet. So that was really cool. The whole the fact that he paid off somebody to start a bidding war was kind of funny, and then that whole chase scene around the World Fair was pretty cool. Of course, always fun hearing Wisconsin get mentioned in movies. Doesn't happen a whole lot, and so when it does, we pop for it a little bit. But this was a fun episode, and it gave us backstory as well. Like I always appreciate, and I'm sure a lot of people do, like a good backstory, especially when you have such a unique and complex main story. It's one thing to have a main story where it's like, okay, like we really don't need a backstory. There's a little bit of, self-explanation with what's going on. With everything with the TVA and He Who Remains, it's like, okay, how did this all start? And of course, there's so much detail that could be given where you're never going to get it all. But the backstory I really liked. And for me, it helped kind of give a clear overall picture of what's going on and what's happening. Wasn't ready for the twist where Miss Minutes wanted to turn into, I want to be a real girl. It's like, okay.
He puts it on the
little
mannequin.
AI. Yeah, a little different, but definitely a really solid episode. And all 3 episodes, I think, have been really, really solid, but they've all had their own kind of unique feel to them, which I think is something really cool about this series so far.
Yeah, the tone obviously came down a little bit in this one, but of course the trade-off was for an information dump, so to speak, right? So I will say this one did feel a little bit of a lull for me, but again, I understand why, because they're trying to feed us the information to set up for what's to come. Overall, though, seeing Victor Timely, it's kind of crazy to see, like, hey, Kang right here, right? And then going all the way back to, what Renslayer and Miss Minutes are saying, like, hey, you told us to do this for when this happens. But I think that whole concept is kind of crazy in a good way, because it keeps it entertaining and whatnot. But I can also see if some were confused a little bit, because there are some pieces where you have to like race through your head of like, for the non-super fan, I'll just say, but for casual, where you could be running through your head of like, okay, what did this happen? Yes, that kind of thing. It was great to see the basically the end credit scene from Ant-Man, Quantumania, right? Because that's what got these two started, and now Andrew and I don't have to tell them what happened in episodes anymore. So now they can catch up on the episodes, which why we're here all now. So it worked out.
It always works out in the end.
It always works out. Yeah. So I'm interested to see now, because they have Victor at the TVA, and everyone else was just saying, hey, do not bring him here. Well, Sylvie, not everyone else, but Sylvie was saying, do not bring him here. And then she took a chance. So how is that going to pay off now? I'm kind of curious.
Remember, she was in the future in the elevator shaft. In the future, is that coming to
that has to come back to play, because they wouldn't just show that and not come back to it. So what episode is that going to happen in?
Yeah, that's what I found that was strange, is that Sylvie had this obsession with Renslayer, wanted to take her out, said I did it 1,000 different ways in my mind. And then she just sends her through the door. I was surprised by that. I thought for sure she was going to take some vengeance.
Well, if she had thought that maybe that all she had to do, look, if that's the end of time, and she gets there's nothing past that, right? So literally all she is basically just starve to death in that room.
Yeah.
And
that's
have time.
That's what I think she's
have
thinking.
Time to just, until that time happens, just sit there with her thoughts at the end of time. I don't think she took into consideration that Miss Minutes was there with her and they could figure out a way to solve it. I think it's like, okay, I'm just going to put you to the end of time. I'm still taking you out, but I'm not going to make it quick.
Yeah, but like that, when Victor Timely said, "This is my greatest creation," did Kang have that at the end of time? That's what I was wondering about because I figured it had to be
I
significant.
thought it was on his desk.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
in
trying to
season
remember.
1, I believe, and of course, correct me, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
but I'm
definitely.
pretty sure that was in season 1.
So
So there was a lot of correlations from
Yeah, so I'm
Kang
just
in
wondering-
season 1 versus where we're at now. It's kind of interesting to see. That's what I'm saying. Like if it could get confusing a little bit unless you're like really hardcore sucked into this. I know some people are gonna go, whatever, Dave. Kind of thing, but it's true. Some will kind of forget that. So.
Well, and the $1,000 in 1893, that's what I was looking up on my phone, is $34,116.78 in today's money.
That
So
inflation
that's
will
what
get
he
you.
got for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
But that goes a long way back in 1893.
Yeah, I can't wait for episode 4. And now that we had our information episode, is what I like to call it, not the technical term. But I'm hoping we get back to all right, tensions up because Victor Timely is there. Is it going to happen? I still feel like Miss Minutes kind of has to have some kind of.
She's
play.
got something in her bag of tricks.
I still feel like
For
she's
sure.
got.
Being at the end of time like that with his body still there and whatever gadgets he might have had in his office, they're gonna figure it out.
She didn't seem like she was in distress there. She
No.
was just
No.
like, I know all of his secrets.
Yeah, and then gosh, we kind of blew over the end there where she said, "I know stuff about you."
And then she
cut
one big
out.
one about you, and
Yeah.
Okay,
So
if
what
I could
is?
make an early prediction there, I'm gonna say
let's
that
write this
Victor
down.
Timely or Kang, that's gonna be her dad. That's my prediction. I don't know if it makes sense. It just seems like that's something you would go with. It's like I know something about you. Maybe.
I hope not. I feel like that's been kind of overplayed. Hey, I'm your dad.
yeah,
but
yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
brother.
I don't know.
brother, yeah, it could be brother or something like that.
some kind of family.
Possibilities are endless. Unlike so far the branches in time that need to get put back in. So for Diamond Dave, Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course the answer. Catch ya for more on 4, and we'll see you later, pals.